The writings which people are trusting in are not genuine. They are indulging in the worst kind of diabolism. Like Ravana, the Saudagar Mahajans, after the death of Raja Bal, started practicing diabolism. They are creating an impression that the saints and the sages are endowed with some charismatic powers. As a result, people are running after sadhus and fakirs for favor of their blessings. Now, if someone approaches a fakir to get his ailing son cured, the fakir will assure him that his son will get well, provided he sacrifices a couple of goats at a particular shrine. Following the advice of the fakir, in whom he has full faith, he sacrifices a couple of animals at the specified shrine. Now, if his son gets well, he will praise the fakir sky high, saying he has supernatural powers. A wide publicity will be given to him. On the other hand, if his son dies, people will say that he was destined to die. This is how you people, having lost your wisdom, believe in such miracles and sacrifice animals to propitiate gods and goddesses. These books are only misleading you. You are blindly following the advice of the fakirs who do not have any superhuman power. Of course, those who are the devotees of God are not harmed. God is merciful to all. He never harms anybody. The diabolism practiced by the Saudagars has corrupted the intellect of the people, as a result of which nobody remembers God. People are all praised for the doings of the Baniyas, just as Ravana was praised by the unwary people. These unscrupulous people have caused hundreds of diseases to Mother Earth, as a result of which her health is deteriorating day by day. The gold and silver mines, which are in abundance in the bygone eras, have simply disappeared owing to the illness of earth. This fact needs to be noted, that the gold and the silver mines provide the essential fat in the body of Mother Earth. Without this essential fat, the body cannot have the required strength. The bones will become fragile. Such is the condition of Mother Earth at present. The weakness of Mother Earth has affected her fertility. As a result of the diabolic rites of the Baniyas, there is not enough rainfall, nor is she able to breathe properly. But you people are totally unaware of it. If you had known it, you would have certainly done something for the well-being of your offspring. During Ravana's times, people took steps to dismantle Ravana's sin on the advice of Shanishchara. Now, I want to impress upon you, all the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians and others, to read my book Jagat Hit Karani and take necessary steps to ensure the safety and security of the present and the coming generations. Any dilly-dallying on your part will give these Baniyas ample opportunity to lure the rulers of foreign lands to rule India. I therefore forewarn you that something must be done to dismantle the sinful activities of the Baniyas, so that no foreign rulers will be tempted to rule this country. Because in the absence of their diabolism, this country will once again have the golden period of Satyuga. People will get back their thinking faculty. Nobody will have any greed or covetousness. The rulers of the foreign lands are tempted to come to India to acquire rich resources which once this country had. Nobody knows where the riches of this country have gone. The Baniyas, with their diabolic power, have drained the entire wealth of this country. They have deprived people of their thinking faculty. A well-fed lion would not attack anybody, but when he is hungry, he will tear to pieces whosoever comes his way. Such is the situation of the rulers. The Saudagars are secretly planning to rule the entire universe. That's why they have destroyed the thinking power of the people of the world. They always think of harming others. They cannot think good of others. This situation will be causing tension, giving rise to clashes and riots. People will kill each other. The rulers have also strained their relations. They cannot see eye to eye with each other. One ruler wants to kill the other to grab his kingdom, but their wishes are never fulfilled. All of them die in this process. The purpose for which they kill each other is defeated because their wealth is grabbed by the Baniyas. In this way, all the kings and rulers of the world will be killed, and the people belonging to the Baniya community will far outnumber others. They will then rule all the countries of the world. This is the ultimate goal of these people, and for that they are practicing diabolism. This fact has been mentioned in the beginning. When Ravana practiced diabolism, people, on the advice of Shanishchara, dismantled his scene in order to save their children from devastation. Similar attempts should now be made to end the diabolic practice of the Baniyas. In fact, when all the people will join hands and expose the misdeeds of these traders in every village and town, and also to the Britishers and citizens of other countries, then alone the secret rites that they are performing in an island can be checked. So, brethren, the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians, and others, try to understand what I am telling you and give it a wide publicity in every village, town, and street. When the King Edward will have thoroughly understood the secret designs of this trading community, he will completely dismantle the mystic rites of these people, which they are performing secretly in an island in the midst of an ocean. Therefore, the details of diabolism being practiced by these people should be brought to the notice of His Excellency King Edward. Some scientists in Britain and elsewhere are intrigued by the mysterious occurrences of epidemics year after year, taking a heavy toll of life. Children are dying at a very young age in millions, and nobody could demystify this phenomenon till date. I, Sadhu Anup Das, beg to impress upon all the practitioners of medical science, the Britishers and others, to ensure that no one dies at a young age, and for that they will have to do something to find and remove the root cause, which is the diabolic rite being performed by the Saudagar Mahajans on the 84 lakh kundis by tormenting as many living beings. This mystic rite has given rise to innumerable problems, including environmental disasters, deforestation, drought, and even intellectual and moral turpitude in society. Different rites are performed to achieve different results. When the mystic rite is targeted against a person, he suffers from the problems intended in the ritual. But people think that it was preordained and the almanacs etc. had forewarned about it. Through almanacs etc., these traders have circulated ominous prognosis of the worst kind. They say that with the advent of Kali Yuga, people will indulge in incestuous relation. They will lose their sense of right and wrong and will behave like animals, disregarding the sanctity of their relation with their mothers and sisters. It is therefore incumbent on all of you to demolish this sin unitedly, so that your younger generation could be saved from the threat of moral and intellectual degradation. Let me tell you with all the emphasis at my command that these problems are not the will of God. They are the outcome of the diabolism of the Baniyas, which needs to be dismantled. They have spoiled the intellect of the people to this extent that they, the people, do not realize that Mother Earth is a living being and she is suffering from several ailments. If she had no life, she would have dried up by now. How could, in that case, the universe survive and grow? So, this fact must be kept in mind that the earth is a living entity, and that's why plants grow on the land. The entire universe is based on her, but the Baniyas have created confusion in the minds of the people, and so they fail to see the reality. The Baniyas are performing diabolic rites to curse Mother Earth, but people think that the predictions of the almanacs are coming true. The Baniyas are happy in their heart of hearts that they have been able to practice diabolism secretly, and the kings and the subjects are attributing their miseries to the astrological predictions. Nobody knows about their secret operation, which they have kept a closely guarded secret. I know of their secret operation because they have tormented me with their diabolism. I too was unaware of their secret game until I was subjected to torture by them. But you people are totally ignorant of their misdeeds because your thinking power and your wisdom has been captivated by them, by their diabolic power. Since I am worried about the future of your children, I have taken it upon myself to expose their nefarious activities. I want to tell you that the occurrences of natural calamities, the incidence of infant mortality, and miracles like disappearance of images of deities from the temples and their reappearance by breaking apart the earth's surface are all the handiwork of these Saudagars. If you want your children to live happily, all of you, including the rulers and the subjects, should unite and take steps to dismantle their sin. The damage that they have done to the thinking faculty of the rulers as well as the subjects is beyond description. As a result, both the rulers and the common citizens have great trust in these treacherous people. They think that all others, the Hindus and the Muslims, are untrustworthy even if they are telling nothing but truth. On the contrary, these Saudagars are indulging in complete falsehood and yet people trust them. This is all due to the effect of diabolism. But they are cheating both the Hindus and the Muslims by manipulating their account books, leading to their indebtedness. They forge the signatures of the poor people on papers and manage false witnesses to grab their belongings, including cattle herds, as a repayment of the debt. When the matter goes to the court of law, they present the forged evidence which is relied upon by the court. The poor man is punished on the basis of a false case filed by the Baniyas. This is the justice which a poor man receives from the court of law. These unscrupulous moneylenders prepare forged documents in the names of fathers and grandfathers of the poor people, and when the elders have died, they ask the innocent people to repay their loan, showing them the documents purported to have been signed by their deceased elders. They threaten them to take legal action in case they fail to repay the loan. In most cases, the poor man succumbs to the threat and repays the amount. If he fails, he is dragged to the court where the forged documents are presented. Taking cognizance of the charge, the court decrees the poor man to repay the loan. Thus, the claim of the dishonest moneylender is upheld by the court, while the honest man is proved wrong. This is how the courts give their judgment in the Raj, the British rule. The reason is not far to seek. It is the same diabolic influence of the Baniyas which has devised the sense of judgment of all the people, including the judicial authorities. Pitted against the powerful Baniya, the poor man has no say even in the courts. Nobody trusts him. His sincerity is questioned. On the contrary, the dishonest moneylenders who have committed forgery are favored by the court. Their manipulated account books, forged documents, and false witnesses presented before the court are relied upon, whereas the sincere pleadings of a poor man are ignored. What an irony is this, that those who are toiling day and night are facing starvation, whereas these traders and moneylenders have amassed huge ill-gotten wealth without doing anything. The Baniyas, who are relatively less affluent, fleece the poor people of the world by resorting to forgery. As against them, the wealthy Baniyas dupe the rich by adopting all kinds of dishonest means. They have spoiled the sense of judgment of the people by their diabolic power, which is why the evidence tendered by a poor man before a court of law is dismissed as unreliable. The less affluent Baniyas forge the documents and file a suit of non-repayment of loan in a court against a poor man. But the wealthy Baniyas make a rich person his target and files a suit against him by forging documents. They lodge a claim which includes not only the principal amount and interest thereon, but interest on interest as well. They tell their victim that his grandfather had borrowed money from them, showing them the forged bond. If he agrees to pay him the amount, well and good. Otherwise, they file a suit against him in a court of law and get the amount by way of the court's decree. But the authorities and the rulers do not pay attention to their forgery. A poor man who has actually borrowed money from a moneylender will never deny this fact. In fact, he keeps the record with him that on such and such a date he borrowed such and such amount from the moneylender. He takes some other people in confidence in this matter, but when he has not borrowed any money from any moneylender, and the moneylender prepares forged documents to claim a heavy amount from him, he seeks justice from the court of law and makes a submission before the court on oath. He testifies that he never borrowed any money from the moneylender and that his grandfather had repaid the loan with interest. He even presents documentary proof before the court, but the court rejects his evidence. Pitted against a dishonest but wealthy moneylender, a poor man does not get justice in a court of law, and his honesty is questioned. All his sincere pleading falls on deaf ears. On the contrary, the forged documents and false evidence of the moneylender are relied upon, and the poor man is forced to pay the money because a Baniya is considered to be an honest and upright man by the men in authority, the rulers and others whose mind has been captivated by means of Indrajal. Besides, the agents of the moneylenders, obeying the dictates of their masters, prepare forged promissory note in almost every other person's name, stating that such and such person has borrowed such and such amount, mortgaging his cattle, house, and other belongings to the moneylender. A statement in the name of the poor man is also recorded in the document that in case he fails to repay the loan, he will have no claim over the mortgaged property, nor will he appeal to the king for justice. So they are deft in committing such forgery, and yet the king never suspects their honesty. There is no other reason than the diabolic influence of the merchant community that the people of the world have lost their wisdom. By practicing tribalism, they have taken in their possession the riches of everybody in the country. They have now set their eyes on the riches of other countries. They have already opened their business establishments in those countries. From time immemorial, a large number of gold and silver mines have existed in the world. Therefore, there was a lot of wealth in the world. Those moneylenders have taken the riches of the world in their possession. They have thus enslaved the whole world. This is to be noted that the kings and their offspring depend on the farmers who work very hard and grow food grains. In spite of this, they are forced to work as bonded labor. They work very hard but do not get anything in return from their masters. They are subjected to merciless exploitation. The farmers are toiling in the fields day and night like animals, only to feed the whole world. In view of their hard work, they deserve to be treated with respect. It is they who are feeding us and our children. However, having lost their sense of judgment, people are playing second fiddle to these traders. On the other hand, they owe to the hard-working farmers no thanks. This is all due to Indrajal, the black magic by means of which they have captivated the wisdom of the people, including the king, who do not feel grateful to their real benefactors. The king and others holding authority deny justice to the poor. A poor man who has never borrowed a farthing from the moneylender and says on oath before the authorities is not trusted, and the claim of the dishonest moneylender based on the forged promissory note and false witnesses is upheld. Thus, the poor fellow is made to pay the debt alleged to have been borrowed by his forefathers of 7 generations back. This is a travesty of justice. The reason is that the diabolic influence has blinded the sense of justice of the authorities. They fail to see that the poor man who has been wrongly implicated in a case of non-repayment of loan is in fact innocent. One person may be lying, 2 persons may be lying. How is it that all poor persons are dishonest and all moneylenders are honest? It is the effect of diabolism which has created a situation in which the poor are always proved wrong. The court denies the poor accused every opportunity to prove himself innocent. On the other hand, the false claim of the moneylender is upheld without checking the veracity of the documents presented by him. The accused, who is poor, does not get justice in spite of his being honest and innocent. The moneylender indulges in all kinds of falsehood, and yet his claim is upheld by the court. It is because the dispensers of justice are under the influence of the mystic force. These traders and moneylenders have influenced the sense of judgment of the court authorities by their diabolic power. As a result, they cannot discriminate between truth and falsehood. All these banias have got together and fleeced the people of their money and wealth. They have resorted to the sinful practice in order to doom the world and establish their unchallenged authority over it. They are performing a mystic rite of diabolism to harm the world. Thereby, they have destroyed the thinking faculty of the people of India to this extent that nobody, not even the king, is remotely aware of the sinful practice of these traders and moneylenders. This they have done on purpose. If their operation remains secret, then they can continue their sinful activity without any hindrance, and they will be able to take the entire reaches of the world in their possession. They have already grabbed the wealth of the Indian people. Now they are aiming at grabbing the wealth of all other countries and continents. Their insatiable greed for money drove them to take recourse to the sinful practice of Indrajal. They are looking forward to a day when they will own the entire reaches of the kings and the emperors of all the countries and the kingdoms and the mighty monarchs of the world, and their subjects will pay obeisance to them. They will be the rulers of the world. This is the reason that I want to inform and educate you people, the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians and others, about the diabolic designs of these Saudagars. You have to take a united stand to dismantle their diabolic operation. If during my lifetime you are able to unite and do something, I am confident that you will succeed in your effort. Otherwise, there is little hope. You people do not know the magnitude of their sinful operation. It is intricately woven and widespread. I have the access to their mystic operation because I have been a victim of their diabolic torture. It is my avowed mission to save the present and coming generations of the world from the disastrous designs of the Saudagars with the help of the people of the world. I was severely tormented by these Saudagars, and that is how I have come to know about their wave of Indrajal. They are performing a mystic rite in an island which has resulted in a serious damage to the world, its people and the environment. You do not know about their secret activity since you have not been tormented by them. Unless you are physically tormented and made to witness the gruesome process, you will not know what their diabolism is. In fact, they do not subject you to direct physical torture. Instead, they perform the sacrificial ritual and you are made the target of its ill effect. If instead of adopting this indirect method, they torment in person, you will watch their sinister operation with your own eyes, and thus their sinful game will come to light, which they do not want. Since I was tormented in person, the secret activity has come to my knowledge. I want that your children should not suffer, which is why I am telling you about the secret designs of these Saudagars. I give you my word that if all of you join hands and take steps sincerely and resolutely to foil their game plan during my lifetime, the entire structure of their diabolism will be demolished. I fear after my death, this may not be possible. They may convince you people that they have given up the sinful practice. You will be satisfied with their assurance and forget all about it. Then suddenly, someday, they will resume their operations secretly. They will then ruin the world and establish their rule over the world. So you must do something to dismantle their sinful operation. They have committed a great blunder by tormenting me in person because in this process I have come to know the secret of their mystic rite. Had they not subjected me to physical torture, the world would never have known the secret of their diabolic rite. In the interest of the welfare of the world, I, in spite of being poor and without means, appeal to the people of the world to have faith in me and extend their helping hand so that I can demolish the sinful operation of these Saudagars. Then the world will be free from miseries. People will enjoy all the comforts which were available during the Satyuga, which existed before the times of Ravana. O the kings, the rulers, and the citizens of the world, please give a serious thought to what I am saying and take action forthwith. Your success will bring back the Satyuga in which people enjoy full lifespan as God has granted to everybody. If people are dying young, it is because of diabolism. I want you to take steps to dismantle the diabolic operation of these Saudagars. They will influence your thinking faculty in a variety of ways by means of their diabolic power. They will suggest to you completely different reasons and phenomena so that their sinful operation remains a closely guarded secret. Let me tell you, they have no intention of abandoning their Let me tell you, they have no intention of abandoning their diabolic practice. Once in the past, some king had detected their secret operation and wanted it to be dismantled. He had so much as demolished the temples of these Saudagars. The Saudagars then created confusion in the minds of the kings by their The Saudagars then created confusion in the mind of the king by their diabolic influence. They discontinued this practice temporarily and resumed it after a generation or two. This is a well-known fact. If the king, who had detected the secret operation of the Baniyas, had completely dismantled the sinful operation and given death penalty to the culprits, the practice of diabolism would have been finally buried. Those indulging in this secret rite were spared, and therefore this practice is continuing unabated. The secret of Ravana's diabolism was disclosed by his brother Bibhishana, and Shanishchara brought it to the notice of the world. Consequently, the whole world got united and dismantled Ravana's sin. Unlike Ravana, the Saudagar Mahajans have strong bond of unity in their community. You cannot elicit any information from any member of their community. No amount of temptation will work. In the past, some king had tortured the Saudagars secretly and even demolished their temples in order to elicit from them the whole truth about their diabolic practice. They did not tell the truth then, nor will they do it now. With all the emphasis at their command, they will deny their involvement in a sinful practice. They will try their best to keep their activity a closely guarded secret. They have decided among themselves that nobody will divulge their secret even if they are tortured by the authorities. That will ensure the safety and prosperity of their offspring. If their diabolism is intact, they think, avenge the harm done to any one of them with might and main. So you see, they will never disclose their secret design, come what may. It is therefore necessary that so long as they do not abandon the diabolic practice for good, no one of their tribe be allowed to live. They must meet the same fate as Ravana and his descendants met. Then alone others can live in their own regime. Otherwise, they are capable of destroying all the regimes in the world in order to establish their own rule. All the kings and the rulers and the common people should therefore gear up to give a big jolt to their demoniac operation. It is now, during my lifetime or never. They will lie low and become less active for some time to give an impression to the world that they are not indulging in any diabolic ritual. The kings and the rulers will be convinced that they have actually given up their sinful activities. Take it from me, they are not going to sit idle. They will create confusion in the minds of the people and resume their diabolic practice after an interval of a generation or two. I have therefore decided to educate the people of the world about their diabolism, both old and new. Shanishchara had done the same thing when he exposed the misdeeds of Ravana to the world. The world then stood against him and finished his sin by putting Ravana and his descendants to death. For some time there was no diabolism. Then Hiranyakashipu took it up. It was Narasimha who exposed his sin to the people and the rulers of the world, who in turn put an end to the practice of diabolism. These things are well known to the people. Ravana could not detect the sorcery of his diabolic practice because Shanishchara knew about it. Similarly, I know about the sinful practice of these Saudagars. I want to appeal to all the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians and others to take action unitedly to dismantle the diabolic operation of these Saudagars. Shanishchara had made a similar appeal to the people, who responded positively. The diabolism makes earth quake and split. The Baniyas have drained out the riches from different places of the world by their diabolic power. They have kept the entire wealth secretly in an island. In other countries, when the earth quakes and splits and extensive damage to life and property is caused, people say that God has willed so. They do not know that someone has drained out the old treasures and that the diabolic force has caused the earth to split. There are countries which are thousands of miles away, but even from there they can drain out wealth by splitting the earth. They can do so by means of their diabolic power. They can make the temples and the idols disappear from their original places and reappear at other places far away from there. In the same way, they can remove the money and wealth from a foreign land through an underground channel. The incidents of sudden disappearance of the temples and the idols and of reappearance at far and of reappearance the incidents of sudden disappearance of the temples and the idols and of the reappearance at far off places is well known in the world. People think that such incidents are occurring according to the astrological prediction. I want to tell the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians and others that the astrological predictions have nothing to do with the incidents such as these. It is the power of diabolism which has caused these incidents. People do not know, and that's why they talk of predictions. The Saudagars have spoiled the thinking faculty of the people, which is why they do not know the real reason of the quake. I want to point out that Mother Earth shall never tremble unless she has some serious ailment. Earth is a living organism exactly the same way as a human being is. A moment comes during the 24 hours of a day, including night, that one is down with fever and the body ache becomes unbearable. Then the body starts trembling. My brother, as we suffer from acute pain, so does Mother Earth. Pain is caused by some ailment. Now, why does Mother Earth tremble? It is because the Saudagars perform an occult rite of diabolism, the target of which is Mother Earth. They cause earth to split and thereafter drain out the money of others. This process causes severe pain which makes earth tremble. If there was no diabolism, the human beings as well as Mother Earth would have no physical ailment. It is the consequence of Indrajal that we see a variety of diseases afflicting humankind and Mother Earth. The Baniyas have, however, floated all kinds of irrational stories to confuse the people at large. The purpose is to divert their attention from their nefarious activities. For example, when the earth quakes, they make people believe that God has willed so and that mysterious are the ways of God. A myth is doing the round according to which earth is resting on either the horns of an ox or when the ox displaces earth onto the other horn, it makes the earth shake. According to another mythical story, Mother Earth is seated on the head of Vasukinag, Hydra, and when the serpent moves its head, Earth begins to shake. Such stories as these have been circulated deliberately to confuse the people of the world. Some say Earth is resting on either of the horns of an ox. Some others say that she is seated on the head of a serpent. Still others say that Earth is sprawling on the lingam phallus of Mahadev or Lord Shiva. Books produced and circulated by these Mahajans are spreading these stories. The names of the ancestors of the Hindus and the Muslims are mentioned in these books as their authors, so that their real authors, the Mahajans, are not exposed. Just imagine, Mother Earth is no flower which could be placed on the horn of an ox or on the head of a serpent. The Saudagars have damaged the rational faculty of the people by their diabolic influence to this extent that they are completely unaware of the existence of Mother Earth as a living being. The Saudagars and members of their community know this fact fully well, that Ravana had circulated a number of books to create confusion in the minds of the people so that they forget whatever they know about Mother Earth. Ravana and members of his clan did have this knowledge. Now the Saudagars have also done the same thing. It is the effect of Indrajal which has destroyed the wisdom of the people and caused scores of diseases in the world. There is no other reason for this. Mother Earth is not resting on the horn of an ox or any other object. Those who say that Mother Earth is resting on this or that object should tell us how they know it. Only God knows whether Earth is resting on water or she is existing without any support. Nobody has gone outside and seen what or who is supporting Earth, nor is somebody standing beneath her to vouch for the truth of this story. Just as a human being stands firm on the ground without an outside support, in the same way, Mother Earth needs no support. But people under the diabolic influence of the Baniyas say that Earth is resting on the horn of an ox. They are incapable of thinking rationally. They readily believe in millions of things being spread by the Baniyas through fake books. The purpose of attributing authorship of these books to the ancestors of the Hindus and the Muslims is to hide their identity as writers of these texts. When the kings and the rulers will find these books objectionable and make a search for their source, they will never be able to lay their hands on them, the Baniyas. Only those whose ancestors' name appear in these texts will be caught and punished. With a view to safeguarding their interest and ruining others, the Saudagars have spread many superstitious ideas which people are accepting and acting upon. The books produced and circulated by them are receiving wider acceptance. People treat them as their sacred scriptures and read them with great faith. They say that Lord Krishna had churned the sea, and for that he used the serpent Vasuki as a churning rope. This story, which is so widespread in the world, is a concoction of the Baniyas. The fact is, Lord Krishna never churned the sea. He was one of the avatars, incarnation of God. His devotion to the Almighty has immortalized him. He, like Shanishchara, did a great service to humanity. That's why he is still remembered. People do not understand that these Saudagars have destroyed their thinking faculty by performing demoniac rites. The diabolic influence would not allow people to believe in whatever I am telling them. Lord Krishna was an avatar, and so are you, all the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians. When you say that Krishna had charmed the sea, then why don't you do so? When you say that Krishna had charmed the sea, then why don't you do it? If you cannot do it, then how do you think he could do it? So it is a myth circulated by the Saudagars. Do you think the sea water is like curds in a pitcher? It is a vast expanse of water covering an area of thousands of miles. How can it be churned? Therefore, think in proper rational manner. It is the diabolic influence of the Saudagars which make people think so. Just think, we cannot churn a small pond. How could then we cannot churn a small pond. How could then Sri Krishna have churned the sea water? Sri Krishna was himself an avatar, as all of us are in our own right. In order to instill irrational thoughts in the minds of the people, the Baniyas have placed these books of demoniac knowledge in the homes of both the Hindus and the Muslims. Books found in the Hindus' homes bear the names of the ancestors of the Muslims, and those found in the Muslim homes have names of the ancestors of the Hindus as their authors. Similarly, the names of the ancestors of the kings are given as authors in the books placed in the homes of the kings. This is the trick of the trade of these Saudagars to keep themselves behind the curtain. They think that if at some point of time these books are found objectionable in so far they are propagating mystic practices, the people in whose custody these books will be traced will be treated as the practitioners of black magic. These people, both the Hindus and the Muslims, will then be tortured and their children will be killed. Thus, according to their plan, the Saudagars and their children will escape retribution. As a part of their meticulous planning, the Saudagars have placed these books of dubious content in the homes of both the Hindus and the Muslims. The idea is to create infighting among the Indian people. In the same way, they plan to bring the people of other countries to India and ruin them and usurp their money and wealth. The way they have deprived the rulers of India of their wealth, they are practicing diabolism to ruin the rulers and citizens of all the countries and continents and grab their wealth. People in thousands have been ruined by them in this way, in spite of the fact that the rulers and the common people are treating these Saudagars with respect. They are not giving up their misdeeds. The king has conferred the title of Shah on the Saudagars. This and several other honors showered on them have not changed them a bit. They continue to be self-seeking, destructive, and greedy lot. They do not desist from indulging in obnoxious practices. They are performing diabolic ritual day and night. As a result, the ruling elite, their children, and ordinary citizens are suffering a lot. They are not getting proper food to eat and clothes to wear. They have been forced to sell vegetables and small items of daily use in order to eke out their livelihood. This is an open secret. Everybody is witnessing the pitiable condition of the Indian people, both the Hindus and the Muslims. The Saudagars have no consideration for the rulers and the subjects. They have shown no gratitude to the rulers and others who have been extremely generous to them. One would remember such acts of kindness to the end of one's life. It is different with these Saudagars who are so ungrateful that in return of all the respect and consideration shown to them, they are not to harm the world. Respect and consideration shown to them, they are up to harm the world. People are dying in large number year after year owing to the curse of diabolism. Dear brethren, these Saudagars have no other business but to ruin the world. This is what we are receiving at their hands in return of all the good that we have done to them. We are doing everything to make them happy and at the same time tolerating their atrocities. And yet nobody comes forward to dismantle their wave of diabolism. Because they cannot think properly, people have become self-centered. They do not realize that the self-seeking attitude and greediness has ruined the people of India, both the Hindus and the Muslims. These Saudagars will soon ruin other nations, the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians and others coming from all parts of the world should rise to the occasion and unitedly fight the menace of diabolism. You should have trust in me and make a wholehearted effort to dismantle their sin in the interest of the well-being of the whole world. You know very well that if someone does you any good, you would like to reciprocate even by laying down your life. But these Baniyas are very ungrateful. I have written time and again about the good that people, including the rulers, have done to them. They have, however, not only responded but also corrupted the mindset of the people by means of their diabolic power. The damage is irreparable. They have taken the entire wealth in their possession. Again, by means of their diabolic power, they have opened their shops in other countries to plunder their riches. These Saudagar Mahajans will do the same thing in those countries as they are doing in India. That's why I am telling you about their nefarious designs. By opening their business centers in foreign countries, they aim at expanding the area of their diabolic operation. They drive a wedge between different rulers while they keep themselves at a safe distance. They have already grabbed the wealth of the Indian people. They now plan to usurp the wealth of the foreign lands. Just see how clever they are, keeping themselves away from the scene. They create bad blood between the rich and the poor. In spite of the fact that the Baniyas have very cleverly controlled the wealth of the world, people of all sections of society and their children have immense liking for them. They are ruining the whole world, its people along with their children by means of their magical power. Those who have been spared will now be doomed. These Baniyas are performing a sinful ritual secretly, the target of which are the world and Mother Earth. This fact is not known to the kings and the common citizens. The British and the people of other nations are totally ignorant of the fact that the Baniyas are performing a mystic ritual secretly to ruin the children of the kings and rulers of the world. If they ever come to know what these people are up to, they would get united and finish the Saudagars and their offspring in one stroke, and thus putting an end to their diabolism. But these Baniyas have brainwashed everybody by their diabolic influence, and so the kings and others are unaware of their sins. I have therefore taken it upon myself to inform and educate the kings and the rulers of the world about the diabolism of these Saudagars. As I have said, these Saudagars have brainwashed the kings and others who, under the diabolic influence, are discrediting me, saying that the Sadhu Anup Das, in a bid to expose the misdeeds of Baniyas, is talking nonsense. Little do they realize that the fakir and ascetic that I am not worried about food and clothes for myself, nor do I have any greed for anything. I do not have any family to support. I have no selfish motive whatsoever. People, both the Hindus and the Muslims, know it well. I need hardly say it. Yes, it is my duty and mission to see that the people of the world live a happy life and the world is free from these deadly diseases, so that people have not to die young. They should die only after they have completed their full lifespan. I have on my own taken this responsibility to remove the curse of diabolism so that the world becomes a better place to live in. I am repeatedly telling you that the Saudagars are indulging in a demoniac rite somewhere in an island across the seas. Since the Saudagars have tormented me with their diabolism, I am in the know of things. You know, those practicing occultism or black magic are considered to be irreligious people. Anybody exposing their sinful activity is treated as a savior. Think for a moment how your forefathers treated those who had brought to the notice of the people the diabolic activity being carried on. People then expressed gratitude even to a dog, and now when I am cautioning them against the diabolic designs of the Mahajans, they say that I have gone mad. Earlier, people regarded those who exposed the diabolic practice as the savior of the people. I don't say that people should give me the same regard and be grateful to me, nor do I claim to be some extraordinary human being, but at least I don't deserve these epithets like mad, lunatic, nonsensical, etc. In fact, the people are not to blame. It is the diabolic influence of the Mahajans which suggests such things to them. People can know from the Vedas and the Shastras that those who detected and exposed the misdeeds of the demons were held in high esteem. How can I write about myself or ask anyone else or my head clerk to do so? The ancient texts refer to the person who had exposed the diabolic activity. Armies have been sent to fight the evil. During the times of Rama, a huge army attacked Lanka to finish the demoniac regime of Ravana. Similar action should be taken to finish the diabolic operation of the Baniyas. I have been mobilizing people against this evil practice since 1881 AD. I have been able to persuade and rope in some princely states. I want that other states should also fall in line so that this source is wiped out. I am finding it difficult to bring round people because the Saudagars have brainwashed them. They have circulated books of dubious content which people find reliable or accurate. I am sorry to point out in my writing your lack of wisdom and the influence of the diabolism of the Baniya, so that you people could realize the extent of damage that has been done to your thinking faculty, and after so realizing, you could be in a position to master your innate wisdom and understand the intricate network of the diabolic operation of the Saudagars from me or my head clerk. Thereafter, I want you, the kings and the subjects, to take action to dismantle their network in the interest of your own children. This can be done with courage of conviction. During Ravana's times, the people of the world, at the behest of Shanishchara, took up courage in order to ward off any threat to their children. They mobilized armies and other logistics and attacked Ravana's forces. That brought Ravana's diabolism to an end. Till this day, people talk about it. I want you to learn from the past and dismantle the scene of these Saudagars. This book is not about any religion, nor does it teach you philosophy. The purpose of writing this book is to caution you against the menace of diabolism and how you should do away with it to ensure happiness to your children. I want you to understand its content thoroughly and take action to dismantle the diabolic operation of the Saudagars. They have already grabbed the wealth of the Indian people. Now they want to possess the riches of all other countries and establish their authority over them. They have drained out the ancient treasures of India and other countries by their diabolic force. They have removed temples and their idols from their places of origin and subsequently made them reappear at places far away from there. People ascribe these miracles to astrological predictions. Nobody, whether a king or a pauper, is aware that it is the magic of the Saudagars which has made it possible. The kings and all others know that there used to be gold and silver mines in the world. What they do not know is that these Saudagars have caused illness to Mother Earth by performing diabolic rites, and that they have drained out the riches. These Baniyas have deprived all the people of their thinking faculty by means of their diabolic power. As a result, people are confused and they do not think where those mines have gone. They are so indifferent, as if gold mines have never been in the world. I want to tell you, my brethren, that these mines were there from time immemorial. But after Raja Bal, these Saudagars have started performing diabolic rites to curse Mother Earth. As a result, Mother Earth has been suffering from scores of diseases, and she has lost gold and silver mines which served as essential fat in her body naturally. When the tree itself has gone, how can one get fruit? When mines have disappeared as a result of the diabolic ritual performed by the Saudagars, wherefrom will the kings get gold and silver to fill their coffers? If these Saudagars stop practicing diabolism, gold and silver mines will reappear as before. It is like this: when somebody is ill and he cannot digest food, he looks emaciated. But when he recovers and does not have any problem, his digestion improves, and so does his intake of food. The improved nourishment strengthens the essential elements in his body. Having got back his health, he does his work with vigor. Since Mother Earth is suffering from illness caused by the diabolic rites of the Saudagars, she has lost her productivity. If they stop performing this mystic rite, Mother Earth will regain her health and her productivity will be restored. But this is possible only when the Hindus, the Muslims, and the Englishmen take a united stand against this evil. In view of this, I am telling you about the misdeeds of these Saudagars. I want you to know about it as early as possible and take action to dismantle their sinful operation. Earlier also, they had spoiled the mindset of the people by practicing diabolism, but as soon as the rulers come to know about it, they force the Saudagars to stop their sinful activity. The Saudagars stopped their activity to some extent. They did not, however, stop it completely, but when presented before the king, they swore in the name of the cow and the pig and said that they had stopped the sinful practice completely. The authorities were convinced by their statement, which they had made on oath. So they stopped torturing the Saudagars. If at that time the rulers had the slight inkling that they were making a false statement and they had not actually discontinued their sinful practice, they would have instantly decimated the entire Saudagar community, as was done in the case of Ravana.